Let's look at another example, this time with data. 2 random samples of earnings of professional golfers were selected. One sample was taken from the Professional Golfers Association, and the other was taken from the Ladies Professional Golfers Association. At alpha equals 0.05, is there a difference in the means? The data are in thousands of dollars. So we have our data here, PGA and LPGA. Some things that are striking about them, at least when you just look at the data. LPGA has 2-digit numbers, some 3 digits, and some 4 digits. PGA has 2 3-digit numbers as their lowest, many 4-digit numbers, and a 5-digit number. Notice these are in thousands of dollars. So this is 10,000 thousands. This number right here is really 10 million. Because it would be $10,508,000. That's $10 million. So just to make sure that we're reading the data correctly, we're in thousands of dollars. We're talking about earnings. So this is salaries, winnings. Before I set up my hypotheses, we need to talk about our assumptions. So we're assuming random samples. It says we have random samples. The sample data are independent. So PGA and LPGA, you can't play in both. And sample sizes are less than 30. We are going to assume that normality again, even though it doesn't say that. We assume normality for the sake of the practice in doing the problem. And now, let's set up our hypotheses. So we have our null hypothesis and our alternative hypothesis. The question is asking, is there a difference in the means? So we'd have mean, mu1 and mu2. And is there a difference? Well, that's a not equal to. So is there a difference? It doesn't say which way the difference is going, even though from this data we might be able to infer that the LPGA is going to be smaller than the PGA. But 2 random samples, we're going to only focus on a difference. Okay, so let's pull up our template. And we'll make this a little bit bigger so we can see things. I've already entered my data here. So sample 1, this is the PGA data. You can see that 10 million mark right there. We're not going to enter them as millions or thousands of dollars. We're going to keep those extra zeros off just to help simplify the numbers. And then there's our sample 2, our LPGA data. We're always going to have a difference of 0. Our level of significance is 0.05. Our alternative is not equal to, and we're not assuming equal variance. Since we provided data, we don't need to enter anything in this group for the sample statistics. Notice the sample statistics are calculated for us, so they do a count and they find our mean and our standard deviation. And then let's come down and pick the values that we need to create the test. So we have our critical value 2.201. And since this is a 2-tailed test, we've got a mirror of that over here, negative 2.201, 2-tailed. Our rejection region has 2 parts to it. Bringing our template back up, we can see our test statistic is 2.786, 2.7 is about right here. It's in the rejection region, so we are going to reject the null. And I'm going to come over here and take a look at our p-value, 0.018. Comparing that to 0.05 alpha, alpha is still bigger, so we would still reject that null. So it does seem that there is a difference in the means. There is enough evidence to support the claim. We rejected the null. So there is enough evidence to support the claim that the mean earnings for PGA and LPGA players are different.